Hello. This is Lauren Brown with Neptune Moons. I am a screenwriter and producer. I read tarot and astrology, and today I'm going to talk about movies and shows that I have watched recently. And I'm just going to go back as far as I can remember. Probably will be leaving some stuff out, but this could give you an idea of the type of movies and TV shows I like, but also the type of content that I like to create as a filmmaker. So, hello, welcome, thank you. Here. All like three of you who watch this, but I appreciate it. Thank you. So, let's see. Recently, I have been binging The New Girl again, and I get this a lot. I think it's just like manic pixie dream girl, quirky uh, personality to me, but a lot of people will say, like, you are so Jess from The New Girl, right? So they'll always compare me to Zooey Deschanel. Uh, and I'm not hating on her because I think she's adorable and I'm honored because she's hilarious. But rewatching The New Girl, it's been a few years, but rewatching it, it's like, yeah, I'm Jess. Yeah, I get it. And what I do like about The New Girl is I think I guess Jess isn't exactly a manic pixie dream girl, but it's a good, she definitely was in like Yes Men and some other stuff, but it's definitely a relatable role because she's a teacher. I tutored kids. I love kids. She plays guitar as a hobby, and cries at Dirty Dancing and sings randomly and is goofy. So that's made me has brought me joy, and I forgot how hilarious Winston is. I love Winston so much. Um, and I think I said this yesterday that as I am binging The New Girl, I am remembering all those sort of like disasters in my love life and feeling better about those disasters because it's like those experiences were sitcom plots. Like I can look past them. They were sitcom plots. They are laughable, right? So if you can't laugh at yourself, you're gonna have a hard time when others laugh at you, right? So life has given me plenty of material, and I would love to write a spec script for The New Girl at some point. Spec scripts, if you don't know, for TV writers, specs are episodes. You write an episode of an existing show to get hired as a staff writer, but it has to be not the show that you're applying for, but a show that's like the show that you're applying for. I know it's crazy. So let's say you apply, and they're both like canceled, not canceled, but have run all their seasons. But let's say you wanted to get a job on Parks and Recreation, you would give them an Office spec script, right? Because that's in the style of that mockumentary style, single cam sitcom type of show, right? Same comedy, high ball, low ball, all that. And you should have a lot of different things in your arsenal, like different things in your portfolio, so that anytime someone asks for, X, Y, and Z, you can just hand it to them immediately. So, New Girl would be great for a spec script. I can't think of a show right now. To be honest, I'm a little disconnected with current media, so maybe Zoe's playlist might be, but I would want to do like a musical, like a Glee episode or something for that type of show. But anyway, I'm sure there is a show that exists or a show that could exist that is New Girl similar, right? And that's just fun to write. Basically, spec scripts are like fan fiction. And who doesn't like that, right? So been binging The New Girl, and then also How I Met Your Mother. I love How I Met Your Mother. I thought about first of all, whenever these shows first came out, I had planned on doing specs for both of these shows, but life got in the way. Sometimes you'll have an idea for something and it doesn't always get executed. So How I Met Your Mother would be another good spec script, especially when we consider abstract timing or unconventional ways to tell a story that aren't just a linear timeline, right? How I Met Your Mother is very like, present, future, past, kind of all over the place in the timeline, which I like. But that's a certain skill set that you build as a writer. So, How I Met Your Mother, I've been watching it a little bit, and to be honest, I have noticed some sexist and, there are some racial things in a lot of sitcoms, especially multicam sitcoms. Multicam sitcoms are like the like fake lights and the audience applause, and then single cam sitcoms are like The Office, or something that doesn't have an audience and that looks like real life, right? It's more like realistic, and you would think it would be the opposite because of all like reaction shots and whatnot, but it's not. Maybe one of these days I can elaborate more on the differences, but let's go. But there are some racial stuff that I'm kind of like, I don't know if this is gonna age well. Like the sexism stuff is kind of like, wow, we have really progressed as a culture like rapidly over the last few years, haven't we? I mean, I still love the show, but it's a little like, yay, yay, sometimes. So How I Met Your Mother, and I know those are old shows. Another old show that I had been binging is Mad About You, which is perfect for me because it's a married couple, Paul Reiser, is that her name? Reisner? Reisner? No, not Reisner. Reiser. I think it's Reiser. And Helen Hunt, and they're just a newlywed couple, and it's a cute show, guys. It's very cute. But sometimes I, after I broke up with a karmic relationship years and years ago, in college, I decided like I didn't want any more drama in my life. I was like addicted to tragic love stories and all of that. And so I just made this choice like I'm going to feed my body content, feed my mind content that puts me in a happy state of hopefulness rather than sort of this like beautifully tragic doom and gloom. And it's not like I'll never watch a drama or anything like that, but it takes a lot for me to watch a drama at this point. I do like things that are cheerful, uplifting, that help me escape, like the hellscape that is life, Please take me out and to a happy place, please. So Mad About You is very good about that because there aren't these really like earth-shattering, heart-wrenching character arcs that the actors go through. It's just like silly, like petty little fights, right? Like a grocery store clerk flirted with your husband, and it's like King of Queens. I love King of Queens, but it's something that is relatively mindless, makes you laugh, and doesn't like bring up old baggage and poke old wounds unexpectedly. And I gotta say, as a kid, I did not like see this. I think it was, and I talk about this a lot. I don't think I've ever talked about this here, but it's like whenever I was a kid, I was attracted to boyish looks, right? Like the like baby faces and guys who just looked more boyish, right? But as I gotten older, I'm less attracted to the boyish looks and more attracted to like manly looks, like chiseled jaw lines and shoulders and all that. So as a kid, I didn't really notice how cute Paul Reiser was. He is a cutie. Man, he's like charming. I don't know. I have a thing for Paul Reiser now. I was not expecting that. So that was a pleasant discovery watching Mad About You. But it's a good like binge, like mindless binge. What else have I watched? The Prom. I love Ryan Murphy. I tried to get into Nurse Ratched, but I think where I was at the time, like I needed something a little lighter. I love Ryan Murphy because he's campy and I love his aesthetic. So while he may be a little more on the dramatic side, it's also kind of corny. Like it's too corny to get too like sunk down into a pit of doom from that programming. So the Prom. I'm trying to think of something of his. Oh, The Politician was really good too. Why did I want to bring that up? He's just made a lot of. The Politician was a few months ago that I binged, but I just like his style. Okay, but I think he is in really good with Netflix because they seem to have given him like a 10 picture deal or something. It's like he comes out with something new every week. But The Prom was good. It was cute. And again, he is really campy, but I also like how he has a sense of humor about the industry. And that was in The Prom, but he's done it in some of his other stuff too. And it's stuff that not a lot of filmmakers actually acknowledge, but it's like making fun of some stuff in our industry. Basically, like how vain actors can be. I love you guys. I do have actor friends, but there are some actors. Anyway, it takes a special kind of person. I love you guys. You guys are able to like pull emotions, out of a hat and channel something bigger than yourself. So don't take that too personally. Let me go back. Let's see. We're in February. What did I watch in January? I'm trying to think of movies I watched. And I know some of this stuff is like, you're not telling me any new shows. And it's like, well, I just haven't been attracted to a lot to every new show. I mean, I haven't watched Bridgerton yet. I loved Enola Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes sister. Love Millie Brown, love Stranger Things, but it was very cute, very delightful, very mischievous, and loved the adventure and very cheeky, January, what did I watch? I watched Runaway Bride. I had never seen it before because I was kind of a hater on rom-coms at the time. It was internalized misogyny, to be perfectly frank. So I watched Runaway Bride, kind of thinking like, this is going to be stupid. I'll watch it. And there were a lot of like unrealistic things that I was being cynical about within like the first 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, this is stupid. That would never happen. I bet a man wrote this. And then as soon as I thought that, there was a moment that seemed like, oh, actually, this could have been written by a woman. And it turns out, whenever I IMDb'd it, it was written by two women, and then after like the 20-minute mark, it got more like relatable and complex and all of that. But it's a pretty good movie. I mean, an all right movie, I guess. I enjoyed it. Many of you have probably already seen it. Maybe it's your favorite. I don't know. Sometimes big names. I would rather see a show with a no-name talent than a big-name talent because sometimes I feel like I can't get past the sort of celebrity in front of that character, right? Like their celebrity status is sort of blocking my suspension of disbelief whenever I'm trying to connect with that character, right? So Julia Roberts is so big, and then you had like the Pretty Woman dynamic. To be honest, Pretty Woman is not one of my favorite movies. Never has been. I know it's a favorite, so I wasn't jazzed about the Julia Roberts and Richard Gere reunion, but they had a cute dynamic in Runaway Bride. I actually think they had a cuter dynamic in Runaway Bride than they did in Pretty Woman. What else did I? Oh, I've watched some strange kids movies. So there was one kids movie that's streaming on Amazon Prime, and it's called The City of Lost Children or Children in a Lost City, something like that. It's a French movie. It has Ron Perlman and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it is gorgeous, beautiful. I almost wanted to say that it was directed by Terry Gilliam. It was not. But I do want to say that recently I did watch a Terry Gilliam movie that I'd never seen before, which is Jabberwocky. Hilarious. Love it. Watch it. Love his work. And that was a pleasant. It's not as popular as some of his other stuff. Tideland. What else did he do? The Colombia. It's not Colombia. Brazil. It was Brazil. But he's done some other stuff. And Jabberwocky is one of the lesser known ones, but it was delightful. It was like, reminded me of Monty Python, if you're into that. City of the Lost Children. So I thought it was Terry Gilliam. I don't think it is. But it's in that style, like aesthetically, visually, where it's sort of, it's creepy in some places. And how do I want to say? Creepy. It's like wicked in some places, you know? And using fisheye lenses to like distort the images, and love the color. It's very dark, but the way they play with colors is really nice. So it's a all right movie if you like foreign films, and it has some cute, funny parts to it. So I would recommend it if you don't mind subtitles or if you can speak French. And there was another one around the same time that I watched called The Peanut Butter Solution. This is another old movie. The City of Lost Children, or whatever it is also an old movie. But The Peanut Butter Solution is so weird. I didn't make it all the way through because the story is confusing as hell. But it's like this little boy does something to make his hair fall out, and then he puts peanut butter on his head, and then his hair never stops growing. What? But that's available for free on YouTube if you want to check it out. The Peanut Butter Solution. It's kind of cute in some places, but like the story is like, what? It's like the story is like a like weird random dream you had, like explaining the dream you had. What else have I seen recently? And I'm not going chronologically. I'm just trying to think of like recent stuff. I really want to see Promising Young Woman. It's $20 to stream. I mean, I think you can go to go see it in theaters. But the theater situation is a little weird right now, right? But you can stream it at home for $20, and like I want to support it, and like I really want to see it, but my cheap ass is like $20. So I wish I could like go in with someone. This is one of the plights of being single. It's like splitting your finances, right? It's like, yes, I could pay $20 to see this movie in my living room, but I could also pay $10 to split it with someone else, right? And it's also like the plight of this whole virus situation to begin with, because I can't do it with my friends either, right? This might be, but like, then it wouldn't be streaming with my friends, but then I could go see it in theaters with my friends. Anyway, so would love to see it, haven't seen it. Basically, Promising Young Woman is very girl power, written by a woman, directed by a woman, Olivia Wilde, love her. And Emerald, I forgot her last name, but I thought did she write The Love Witch or not? Forgot. But basically, Promising Young Woman is a sort of vigilante on men taking advantage of women at the bar, taking them home like, I'm the nice guy, and then like not using their consent, right? So she kills them. A heartwarming tale. Yeah, so I've been wanting to see that. What else? January. I saw a lot of Christmas stuff in December, but I almost feel like now's not the time to review it because we've already passed the Christmas mark, but Jingle Jangle was cute. It was a little too long. It could have cut some music, and it really got my producer brain to think about like Netflix's revenue strategy. Like, I know that the memberships finance the projects, but how do you know which projects are successful if you don't have like ticket sales, if you don't have like ad revenue? So I don't know. I mean, you can see like Nielsen rating type of style, who's watching it, how many views it has, but how does that give you a return on that investment is what I'm kind of like confused about. Anyway, and I have my own opinions on Netflix financing. I could tell you about that later. I have worked for them at a few places, a subtitling place, which we weren't supposed to say that we worked for Netflix. It's a very weird NDA thing, but I just don't care. I'm not like sharing any major secrets. I really value that privacy, and piracy ticks me off working in the industry. But I value that privacy. I've always kept this stuff confidential, like projects we're working on confidential. I'm not going to leak information or anything like that. So I'm not really sure. It's a weird thing. I'm not going to get into it. Let's move on. But yeah, I worked for them at a subtitling place and a post-production place. Post-production is the boring end of movie making. It's like quality checks and metadata and all of that. So I know a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to Netflix. But I'd love to learn more. Let me pitch some stuff to you, Netflix, if you see this. Anyway, Jingle Jangle was cute. Just a little too long. If you want to add this to your Christmas classics list, I would recommend it to play when you want to get your kids to sleep, when you want them to take a nap, right? It was a delightful movie. It was just very long. What else? The Crown. Everyone had been raving about The Crown, and I love Princess Diana, and I want to see those seasons, but tried to watch The Crown, the first few seasons with my mom, and it was just like, I think it's really hard for this generation to sort of wrap their head around the royal family. Like, I love Harry and Meghan, and all of that, but like, British people pay money to keep this family rich, and they're not allowed to be political. They're humanitarian and they have influence, but like, who cares? I mean, like, I just don't understand why Brits like keep them rich. It's kind of a hard concept for me to wrap my head around. Like why? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not an Englander, so I'm not English. So I know not what I'm talking about when it comes to the royal family. What else have I watched? You know what I should have done is looked at my history, Netflix history, Amazon Prime history. It's like I had so many programs I wanted to tell you, but now it's coming at the end. I mean, it's hitting a brick wall. What am I saying? New shows. What are the new shows? Can't remember. Maybe if I think about the other shows, maybe if I write down my Netflix history, Netflix and Amazon Prime history, that's primarily what I stream from. Wish I had a Hulu membership, wish I had all sorts of memberships, Disney Plus, all that, but I don't. So, some other stuff I watched over the break. I watched a lot of stuff over December, visiting my parents, and that really, like, surprised me. I mean, it was like a weird contrast because, oddly enough, I came out to LA to pursue these film and TV dreams. But once I came out here, the amount of stuff I have been able to watch, has decreased so much. Like 75% of the movies and TV shows that I used to watch, like I just don't, I cut down like 75% of my time that I watch that stuff, maybe even more. You work long hours, and I did not have the time to watch anything I loved, working like 10-hour days, right? Two, being in the industry, I developed a little bit of jadedness towards film and TV. I'm getting back into the love of it, but it's hard sometimes. And three, in LA, it's very, it's like a hyper ambitious city. So, the concept of relaxing, the concept of taking it easy and not working is kind of hard to wrap your head around, because it's like there's always something you need to be doing, like updating your resume, updating your LinkedIn, making contacts on Facebook, taking a PA job, doing this, right? And so it is the contrast from that to seeing my parents in December reminded me just how much I watched movies and TV whenever I lived in Oklahoma, and probably the rest of the country is doing all of that too, right? And that's why I haven't seen all the stuff that you guys have, because y'all are more relaxed, and I envy that about you. But we watch so much stuff, mom and dad. It's like all they do is watch TV, and it's like I hardly ever have TV on. But I watched The Flight Attendant, and the flight attendant is Kaley Cuoco. She's a flight attendant. But it is, it's like a Chuck Lorre upgrade. So you probably know Kaley Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory, and The Big Bang Theory is written by or created by Chuck Lorre. Side notes, I used to clean for a couple in Brentwood, and they were friends with Chuck Lorre. And so I saw his, he would write like holiday cards, and they were funny. And so I saw a holiday card written by Chuck Lorre, which is interesting, right? But he created Big Bang Theory, Two and a Half Men, Mom, and what's interesting to me is that the Big Bang Theory, when he originally created it, he intended for Penny to be a little darker of a character, a more like depressed sort of figure. But because Kaylee was so bubbly, the character, his concept of the character kind of changed a little bit. So after the Big Bang Theory, he created Mom. Mom stars Anna Faris and, oh my God, Janny. Why can I not think of her name? Allison Janney? I'm thinking of my aunt, Jan Rainey. Is it Allison Janney? I don't know. I really like her. I don't know why I'm blanking on her name. But it stars those two and their struggles with addiction. And if you look at the Big Bang Theory, there are small little undertones of drinking too much and addiction, but it doesn't really delve heavily into that. But when you get to Mom, of course, that's the whole show, right? Is to deal with substance abuse, operate in Alcoholics Anonymous and 12-step programs and all of that. But still, with Mom, you have that multicam sitcom where you have that canned laughter and it's a little more light and bubbly. But the character that I believe Chuck Lorre wanted in Penny, he switched over to whenever he had Anna Faris play her character in Mom. The Flight Attendant, it was not created by Chuck Lorre, but it had a lot of Chuck Lorre elements to it. And I think if you look at that character progression from Big Bang Theory to Mom, the Flight Attendant is like, I feel like what he felt the initial character would be, which is someone who is struggling with addiction. Also, I say it had like Chuck Lorre elements because it was very like man-centric. Until the end of the season, my dad actually complained. Oh, my dad was so funny. I forgot how funny my dad is. My dad was complaining about how there's too many men in this show. Damn it, how many men does she got? So even he wants more women, right? Even he thinks the future is female. It was very man-centric, and unlike Chuck Lorre, it was single cam. It wasn't a sitcom. It was more of a drama, and it had more crime and intrigue and mystery, But as far as the sort of trauma and the experiences that I think he felt in the character of Penny, I think they are portrayed in Kaley Cuoco's character in The Flight Attendant, because she drinks a lot. My dad made a note of that too. Like, damn, she drinks like a fish. He's so funny, guys. I missed him. I'm glad I got to reconnect with him. But, so watched The Flight Attendant. The Witches, Roald Dahl's, I'm saying it wrong, but the Willy Wonka guy, James and the Giant Peach, he wrote The Witches, and it was originally a film in the 80s with Angelica Houston. Very creepy. Loved it as a kid. And in my opinion, I think both films, they're different. They're very different. Telling the same story, but they're very different, and I feel like they can stand on their own, just in a different way. But The Witches, the new one, with Anne Hathaway and Octavia Spencer, Anne Hathaway is so wicked, like scary, like about to give me nightmares even thinking about it. Watch both. Both are stand on their own, right? What else have I seen? Can't think of what else. But again, I might do a part 2 if you want to know other recommendations. But that's my That's my watch list. Anyway, I love you very much. I will see you tomorrow, and take care. Stay safe, stay warm. If you are in the middle of the country, I'm blessed with this sunny weather, but really feel bad for the people who whose pipes are busting and all that. Texas, love you. Sorry that you're going through all that. Wish you the best, right? Love ya. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.